Hi, Algebra 1, and welcome to 4.3, Inverse and Piecewise Functions. We've got some vocabulary terms here for you, and we're going to go ahead and move on to help you see what those are all about. These guys here. Ooh, look, I've got the Star Wars pointer today. Let's remember, functions have different outputs when different input values are put into them. So we talked about inputs and outputs before. Let's just do a quick review. Input values are also known as independent variables, and these values create the domain or the x values of the function. Output values are also known as dependent variables, and these values create the range or those y values of the function. So we've talked about this before. For some reason, I wrote this twice about functions have different outputs when different input values are put into them. I think I just forgot to delete something there. To find the inverse of a function. So this is where we get into something new. The inverse of a function. We take those outputs, we take those y values, and we work backwards or in the inverse to find its inputs. So we're going to do some problems like that in just a moment. Speaking of, let's go ahead and look at some problems. You've got several different functions here. We've got one that starts with a G instead of an F. So just sometimes functions have different names. So this is function G, which is 3x plus 1. Function F, negative x squared plus 7. Function H, 12 over x. And function J, 2x plus 9. We're going to start by finding outputs. So we're going to put numbers into the functions and see what we get out. On this first one, we're going to start with G of 10. So we're going to start with G right here. So G, this means that my 10 is my x value. So x equals 10. I'm going to substitute that 10 in for the x and add it to 1. Multiply first. 3 times 10 is 30. 30 plus 1. We've done this before, so this is a review. So once again, my input was 10, my x value was 10, my output, or which will eventually become my y value, is 31. When I substitute a 3 into this function f, what this is saying to do is take this function here, and we're going to substitute x equals 3 into that function. Okay, so just remember, these are separate parts. So that just means let the x value equal 3. Now be careful, I've got that negative. That's why it's so important to use parentheses here. So I'm going to square that 3 and add 7. This negative is still there. So 3 squared is 9. That creates a negative 9 plus 7. Negative 9 plus 7 is negative 2. And that's my final answer right there. Forgot to put a box around my 31 over here. All right, finally, let me have you guys try C. Let's see what answer you got. Go ahead and type it in the box and then we'll do it together if you can do it on your own. So hopefully all you did here was go ahead and put the 12 over the negative 2, and 12 divided by negative 2 was negative 6. And that's all there was to it. And just in case you didn't catch that, h of x, this means that my x value equals negative 2 right there, and we substitute that into the function. All right, now let's do some inverses. So that's the next part. So to do an inverse, we're going to go back to that function g. So this guy right here. And what this is saying is now when it gives me the 16, it's giving me the output. It's giving me the final value. So it's like if I had started with 31 and I asked you, hey, what did I have to put in there to get the 31? Well, the input then was the 10. So I'm going to work backwards here. I need to take my function. This creates my output. So I say 3x plus 1. Right? 3x plus 1 equals 16. And then we're going to solve for that, and we're going to draw our line. We're going to subtract the 1 from both sides, and we're going to solve this equation. This is not too difficult of an equation here. You get 15. I think some of you can probably do that in your head. You can see that's 5, but if you need to show the divide by 3, you can still do that too. So we get x equals 5. So basically what I'm saying is that g of 5, when x is 5, equals 16. All right, so there's the big connection there. Okay, so hopefully you understand that, but we'll do another example right here with you. And so before you try to do one on your own. All right, let's take a look at E, because E is definitely tricky. And I'm going to let you guys do F. I know I'm doing a little out of order, but this is my output right here, right? And I'm going to go to H of X here. So this is my output. That's the -2. And then what that means is my function, which was 12 over x, equals -2. So I have to solve for x here. Now, some of you might be able to just think your way out of this one. You could just think about it, and you can ask yourself, hey, self, what can I divide into 12 to give me a -2? So if you just think about it, some of you might be able to see that that's -6. Or 12 divided by -6 would give me -2. But if you can't do that, then this is a little bit trickier problem. We haven't really seen one like this before. So let's set this up. So what you actually have to do, and this is a very rare case, is you're actually going to multiply both sides by x. You could also do a cross multiplication thing if you remember how to do that. Okay, so that's also a possibility. But we've got 12 then equals -2x, and then we can divide both sides by that -2. And that's what's going to give me that -6 equals x. So some of you, like I said, might be able just to think about it. Okay, or I probably should have said x equals -6, but some of you could maybe think your way out of that one, and some of you might need to do it the long way there. All right, let me give you guys a moment to do problem F on your own, and then you can check your work with me after you give it a shot. So hopefully you realize that g of x equals 2x plus 9. And that has to equal my output of 31. You can then solve it. We get x equals 11, which means if I had substituted 11 into this function in the beginning, I would have had an output of 31. So remember, on a graph, f of x is the same thing as your y value. So don't forget, when we start to get to the graphs on this next page, we're talking about our y values. Sorry, this one was a little bit long. The next two will definitely be a lot shorter.